Let's get ready for Monday Mortgage Minute with your hosts, Tom McNamara and Bruce Woodburn.
All right.
Good morning,
Good
Bruce.
morning.
Man, I'm doing great, man. It looks like you're enjoying this beautiful Florida weather.
Yes, it's nice. I'm sitting outside today, but I got a busy day, and I wanted to get right down to business
Yeah, man.
and I want to talk about condominiums, right? So condominiums are very attractive because they can tend to be a little bit more affordable, a little bit cheaper than a single family residence, right?
Sure. Mhm.
But once you add in the association fees, the payments generally aren't that much cheaper. However, it meets certain families' lifestyle. Somebody that doesn't want any yard maintenance, they want a pool they can go to, they got a gym. And a lot of these condominiums are offering a lot of amenities. But
Sure.
we're running into some issues here. Now, at Cross Country Mortgage, I have my own condo approval department. So even if a condominium is not on the FHA or Fannie Mae list, and let's just digress. A condominium to be financeable under normal type of financing, conventional FHA, VA, has to be on the approved list. And they each have their own set of regulations.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, from a realtor perspective, right? It is confusing as heck. If you're not like constantly in condos, it's definitely easy to get confused. And I see a ton of bad information in the MLS. I see condominium associations that I know are not FHA financeable saying they are, and I know ones that are definitely financeable saying they aren't. So
Right.
don't believe any of the information
Yeah.
until you double check it.
No, and what we'll do here in just a minute is give you a link to my website.
Yeah.
Even the Fannie Mae link that you'll find on my website goes direct to Fannie Mae. I don't even trust it. We go directly to Fannie Mae to determine whether a condominium project is already approved on the Fannie list. Now, we also have a link to the FHA list. If you're searching and you're a real estate agent, less is more when it comes to finding out if your condominium is approved. Just go to the list and it'll ask you some basic questions. All I want you to do is put the state and the zip code and hit approve status. Don't try to type in the name of the condominium
Right.
complex.
Right.
You'll never get it. It'll just pull up by zip code and tell you everyone that's approved. On the Fannie list, shoot, that list is so antiquated, it's unbelievable. I get approved condos done directly through our condo approval on a regular basis. But I want to talk about some issues that come along with purchasing of a condominium. So
Okay.
first of all, if it's not on the list and you can't get it on the Fannie Freddie HUD list or VA list, it's not financeable under those terms. So on a conventional loan, we could go a step further and you could put 25% down and do what's called a limited review.
Okay.
And then the only thing that's missing out of the limited review, though, Tom, is the budget. Well, the budget's not that difficult to get anyway. So there's no point in even trying to do a limited review. But we have these additional layers that are coming onto this. So one of them would be if there's a lawsuit against the association,
Right. That's
even if
been a
it's
problem. Yep.
right, even if it's not in the unit that you're buying, if it's in the complex, it affects the approval of that entire complex
Yep.
for conventional or government financing. And then it could be maybe some type of a deferred maintenance issue or something of that nature. So what happened is Fannie Mae came up with the form 1076. 1076 is the new condo review addendum to the condo questionnaire. And it is all about structural integrity. 98 people died in the collapse of the Miami condominium back on June 24th of 2021. 98 people died in that, and a lot of other people injured. So they enacted this structural integrity form that is attached to the condo questionnaire. Now, the problem with this form is it asks the condominium if they are aware of any structural issues. Well, the condominiums association, the presidents of the association, and the management companies that they hire have been told by legal counsel not to fill out this form. not to address the structural integrity. Now, listen, it's not a legal document, and we don't hold them accountable unless they blatantly knew about a structural issue. Then they would have to answer yes. But if there's no knowledge of a structural issue, just answer the doggone question and put no. Because if you don't fill it out, now that entire complex becomes ineligible for any type of conventional or government financing. Ineligible. What do you think that's going to do to your value?
Well, yeah, and I mean, I just sold a condo recently over in Daytona Beach Shores, and it was a big problem, getting people in there to look at it, right? Even because the values over there are plummeting just because of what happened with the storms, right? Forget
Sure.
about all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you keep compounding problem on problem on problem, and basically we're down to with the there's also a measure about how many units are owned by investors, right? How many are rented? They don't want too much of that. And what we're ending up with is condos that are basically unfinanceable, which means people have to pay cash. And there's a limited number of people that are wanting to or willing to pay cash for
Or
the
can.
property, or can. And then on top of that, people are afraid if they buy cash and nobody else can finance their units, that their cash is going to get diminished.
Well,
So
think about this, Tom. Let's just say you buy a condominium today and it's on the approved list and you close and everything's good.
yep.
And that approval comes up for renewal next year. And on that approval list, they got to show the structural integrity. Well, if they haven't performed an engineering report with structural integrity on the entire complex. Now, some of these complexes we have in Florida, maybe, 60 units that have 4 units in each building, right? It's
Oh, yeah.
a lot of buildings to inspect. It could cost tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands, for an engineering report. So,
Yep.
do you think there's enough money in the budget to do that? There's
No,
not.
no.
But now what happens to your investment that you closed on now becomes unqualifiable for future financing, and you go to hell in a handbasket with your value because
Right.
now you can only sell it to a cash buyer. Now, I do have alternative programs for non-warrantable condos. I've got them at
Okay.
Cross Country Mortgage. They're an expanded type of product, but they always require a little bit more money down. You're
More
not going
money
to get a
down.
3% down. You're not going to get a 5% down. And that's why people like the condos, because they were cheaper to get into. But
Right.
now
Right.
you might be stuck with a bad apple, and that's going to be a big problem.
It's really sad because it's probably the most affordable way to build new inventory, right? And we certainly have an affordable housing problem, right?
Absolutely.
And it seems like all the institutions, federal government, local government, state government, everybody's basically making it harder to create this kind of inventory, or to even keep the kind of inventory that's around, at value, right?
Yeah.
It's to me, it feels like it's pulling a lot of good quality stuff off the market. I
Well,
I bought my daughter a condo, and as we've talked about this a couple times, now we paid cash for it, and I put a lot of money into it. And I've been waiting and waiting to get refinanced on it because we were in a lawsuit with the guys that put the roof on.
right.
Now, fortunately, that's all done now, so I'll be hitting you up for a condo refinance soon. But now I'm facing 8% interest rates instead of 5 or 6, like I was facing when we first started this.
Well, you know what? This too shall change. So yes, we saw an improvement last week, actually the week before, in interest rates after the Fed announcement.
Yep.
And then this week we lost a little bit of ground again. It's a ride in a stagecoach, man. I mean, it is up and down. It's
Yep.
just hard to keep track of. But one of the things that I offer as a mortgage professional is I keep a close eye on the market. I'm going to tell you something. I don't think most lenders have a clue as to what's driving the market up or down and what the signals are. I'm watching Japanese candlesticks. I mean, I am watching all my indicators to try to give my clients an edge on the market. So, but I don't think a lot of lenders really have a clue as to what any of that means.
I don't even know what a Japanese candlestick is
Well,
yet.
I'm going to tell you, they've been used for thousands.
Well, to tell you what, one of these days soon, I'm going to come over to your house. We'll have a little bourbon. You can teach me all about Japanese cat.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it, my friend. Well, listen, so the tactic here is if you are a realtor or you are a homeowner that owns a condominium, you better get with your board of directors and your association and determine how you're going to answer these questions. Because if your condominium answers there are no issues with structural integrity, then that's great. Your values will continue to climb. But
Right.
if you refuse to answer it, you are going to tank your investment like you've never seen before. That's
Yep.
the advice.
Awesome. Well, hey, anybody interested in seeing all that information, just click on that QR code. It brings you straight to Bruce's website with all that information on it. And of course, Bruce is always available. You've got his numbers right there. Give him a shout. Give me a shout. Be happy to help you out. Bruce, I
Yep.
got to take off, man.
Yep. If you're looking to join a great team, Tom's got a great team there at EXP. He's one of the best agents that I've ever worked with. Super knowledgeable. Tom, I love working with you. I think that you bring so much to the table when we're working together. And we're just a fighting team that is on the winning side. So
Absolutely,
it's always
man.
good to be doing business with you.
Have a great week, my friend.
You do the same.
All right.